You're listening to Wake Up with Christopher DeSimone on the Live the Dream Media Network, Southern Arizona's premier live talk and online radio.
Just like the light of a new
There it is.
day, it hit me from out of the blue.
All right, you're on the Live the Dream. Too loud, too what is it? Too low.
Making all of my wishes come true.
Are good? We're doing sound checks.
The other way. No, the other way.
Oh, you want it louder?
Yeah.
How's that?
That's
Testing,
better.
1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That's Bruce Ash, by the way. Testing.
Hi. Checking out the ears.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Good to see you on an off day. See what it's like on a Monday morning here at Wake Up.
Absolutely. Kicking off the week right. Bruce is going to be, he's got conflict in his schedules and things like that, so he's on today for his monthly visit.
Thanks for being flexible.
Not a problem. Like I told you, there's very little order to this show, so.
You know what? So I come from the Far East Side, kind of Grant and Tanque Verde, and it was all green lights today.
Look at you.
I got a little bit of a late start, and I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want to be late, right? Because you know me, I'm on time kind of guy,
Yep.
and all green lights. Didn't hit one red light the entire time.
Look at you. Everything's
River
coming
Road.
up. Everything's coming up ash, as they say.
River Road, man.
Of course, we got to get to. We're going to introduce you to a guy named Mike Curry, who actually is going to start a new show. But he has on the Live the Dream Media Network at 7. Fascinating story to sobriety and spirituality, and you're going to like Mike, and we're going to get to meet Mike at 7. And then
good.
first time ever, Brother Joe and Brash. I just said Brass. I don't know. Bruce on the show together for the third hour.
Usually I'm called Brush. I don't know. All my life, I'll find things. Brush, Ash.
I like Brash.
It beats some of the
Brash
other things I've
works.
been called.
You can be Brash.
Not me. Never. Yeah, thank you.
Look at Tony coming to your fence. Very nice. Over the weekend, we'll bring up what happened at our Italian dinner last night, but it rained like hell all over
Yeah.
Arizona. It snowed at Snow Bowl 2 days ago.
Yeah.
we had it all. We had it all. Globe was almost wiped off the face of the planet. Globe, Arizona, and there's actually some people who lost their lives up
Yes,
there.
that's right.
And as a guy who's spent some time in Globe, you think Huckleberry's lack of infrastructure improvements are bad here? Globe hasn't changed since the first mine was open, basically. I mean, if you talk about the back hills of Globe off of the main drag,
Yeah. Tough.
nightmare.
Sort of like Pennsylvania in the cold country.
It is. It is, man. I've been on back roads with my brother there, and it's all these little canyons. And when they said this was happening, like I could totally see it.
In the old days, my dad was an appliance distributor's sales rep for all of Southern Arizona, like from the Gila River down.
Right.
And one of his stops was in Globe.
Okay.
And he knew the good places to go to eat because,
Yeah.
I mean, he might be gone for 4 or 5 days at a time. And he found this place in Globe called the Copper Kettle.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if the Copper Kettle is still there.
Maybe. I'll look it up while you're talking.
But I recall the greatest meals because in his next job iteration, he sold real estate. He sold lots up in the Sholo area.
Right.
And when we would go up on a Friday night to be there for the weekend, we'd always stop at the Copper Kettle. Oh, what a great restaurant.
I don't think it's around anymore, sad
Yeah.
to say. They do have something called the Copper Bistro in Globe. We have bistros in Globe? What the hell's going on around here?
For the hoi polloi.
I remember when I used to do my stuff up there, there were like 4 restaurants that were all the El Rey, but I feel they were also the El Rey, all Mexican restaurants called El Rey, and I feel like they were all owned by like 3 to 4 different people.
But same drug family.
It's Bruce at ltdmedia.net. So anyway, our prayers for the people up there, and then Phoenix just got roasted.
They really got hit hard.
I mean, we got a
3
nice
inches in
shot
some
here.
Yeah. No, it was great. And the intermittent rain, some of them were heavy rainfall, but you were in sunlight.
Right.
You know, it was sort of late afternoon. Oh, it was amazing.
We had breakfast with the accounting team in the morning, Ed and Tim, and then we did a little shopping. And then when we came out, I picked a couple of things at Sprouts, and then all of a sudden it just started raining a little bit. Got home, I'm sitting in the backyard with the hounds, reading a book, drinking a seltzer, and it's nice and breezy and windy. And
yeah,
this is after the post summer.
Right.
This is
This is the first weekend. Any morning since probably the end of April, where when I walked out to get the dog on Saturday morning,
yeah,
it wasn't cold, but there was just a little bit of that nip and a nice breeze.
I had the windows open this morning and last night too. But when I came down, this is like old man. I feel like this is my old man moment, right? I got I'm like, I bet I put a blanket on and shut the ceiling fan off. It's too cold. Wow. But anyway, looks like we're finally in some sort of fallish, lows in the 60s.
You can still get it back up to almost 100 degrees. You never know.
I'm just saying, whenever you're in the 60s in the morning,
that's right.
It's always going to be a pretty good day. When you wake up and it's 74, it can be just. I'm telling you, 7 degree difference on the low makes a difference.
And the 80s, forget about it.
Then you're toast. Yeah. You're just roasted. Tony, you can put the pictures up. We had our wonderful. I said to everyone, I called this the autumn dining series, and then thank God the weather made me look like I was smart. I guess I could have went, with the calendar. It's after the first day of fall. But we were at Giuseppe's Ristorante Italiano, and you can see. God,
that looks so good.
So that's the baked meatballs.
Yeah,
like it was like meatballs parmesan in a way in the pan. Then there's a crowd shot. We had about 33 folks there yesterday.
Yeah,
and then that's our friend Josh with the giant, he came out with the cannolis like that. I'm
so
like,
great.
I said, don't go anywhere. We're taking that picture. There's Tia and Teddy in the background.
Yep. Chowing down. Manja.
And that's Lisa D'Angelo, Tony's wife, to the left. And we had a great time. You're eating, tomato sauce, cheese, meat, and Italian spices, and then dessert was that pile of cannoli plus tiramisu.
Yeah, nice.
So me and Mrs. D split a cannoli and a part of a tiramisu over coffee. Bellissimo. So
they're tenants of ours at 22nd Harrison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and they have a patio over there. I know. So Josh kind of runs Oracle and Rudisill, and his brother Israel runs, or Izzy as we like to call him, runs the 22nd and Harrison one. So he was talking about how he wants to try to do a little more, maybe get a little jazz combo out on the patio or something for the winter.
You can do it there. It's got a nice overhang.
Yeah. So anyway, they were wonderful hosts. Food was great. They had a nice pan of gluten-free sausage and penne for our gluten-freers.
Pat's happy.
Pat was happy. Absolutely. She took a picture of it and put it on her Facebook page. So
nice.
We were understanding gluten-freers. So we did that, and just a winner. Good mix of old Wakeys and newer Wakeys, and it was good.
We got the East Side Wakeys.
Oh yeah. I guess I gotta do something on the east side. I've been huddling it all over here, I guess. Well, we did Shish Kebab House, so that was decently
that's pretty
east for
No, it's
DeSimone being far off range.
Yeah, still 40 minutes for you. Maybe more.
I gotta figure out where to do our next one. Can we do an Arizona pizza one maybe, where Nick just brings piles out of pizza.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That wouldn't be bad.
Best pizzas in town, by far.
Again, when we met for dinner that night, it reminded me that Sabino Canyon one is still, I think, doing the best pizza in town.
Yeah, no, it's great. That's our go-to place for takeout.
Yeah. So I like Fiamme is good and different things like that. But
yeah, Fiamme, the product is okay.
Yeah.
It's stifling in there.
Yeah, it's too small.
Because you're like, the oven is like on your back practically.
Better in the summer, as we like to say.
Yes.
Good morning to everyone in the live chat. Billy, Jamie, Keith, Dr. Neil, 51 degrees in the Metroplex this morning.
Good for Dr. Neil.
And Pat Hirsch. Happy Happy Monday to all of you. We got Tony in the box today with us.
Tony's developed some good game.
Oh, he has. You know? He's been creative and having fun with the buttons, as we like to say.
Yeah. You know, one of the sound effects. I'm not sure that you've migrated it here.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's on the Sound Machine one. That was
that was a Sound Machine one.
The belch.
Yeah.
Tony, do we have? It would be in the world where the ding is. There used to be a belch sound, but maybe I need to get the machine back.
Because that was usually a very well timed sound prop for some of the things that happened in Tucson.
Management was upset because I think they got a phone call from in the old days in the radio world.
Yeah.
Because I did the belch sound in relation to Regina Romero. And either she got butthurt and got back to management, and they're like, "Why did you use that belch sound right there?" I go, "I don't know, it kind of worked." That's why. How about that? Call me crazy. All right, let's do a little rundown of what the heck we're going to do today. I never thought I'd be playing a quote, a bit from Greta Bronner from C-SPAN, where a guy calls up C-SPAN talking about what an amazing patriot James Comey is.
Oh.
And then instead of me doing it, Greta whips out an AP article and puts this young man in his place in classic C-SPAN style. It's just, I wasn't expecting it from Greta.
Wow.
But God bless her. We're going to talk about this show up for kicks thing. This is the poor guy who got murdered on the loop.
Yeah.
And I did a little statement on the old waste book that made me kind of tell you how I feel about such things, because I've been doing this way too long. And then we're going to go over full-time salaries per state, and then we'll see how that compares to Washington, D.C.
On pre-shutdown day.
Thank you. So we're going to do we're never going to get to all of this today, but we're going to try our best, is all I can say. Axios, which is a little lefty, a bit, does a story. This is by Zachary Basu. Study left-wing terrorism outpaces far-right attacks for the first time in 30 years.
Says them.
Yes. Eric Adams has dropped out of the mayor race in New York.
Yeah, now Cuomo needs to drop out.
Charles Schumer complaining about weaponized DOJs.
You really have to have balls to say something like that.
Then the other one was, and so funny, I had it on my list today, and you came out of your car this morning, you go, "Man, I just heard this interesting story about a school district in Des Moines," and I go, "Oh."
It's a classic.
And it applies to this place.
Right.
So they're jelly. Jennifer Ekstrom is pissed. Pissed.
She wanted to be the leader on that.
and some white bread in Des Moines has outflanked them. What else do we got here today? This clip I'm not going to play it, but it's Mike Johnson. "We're just keeping the doors open, but they want to shut it." I'm so sick of all of this talk by all of them.
It's
all of them.
It's just political theater on both sides. It's kabuki theater.
It is. Project Blue opposition turns towards TEP.
What a bunch of crap.
And the reason I really wanted to bring this up today, your favorite mouth-breathing city councilman, Paul Craig, is quoted.
I'm not sure if he's having an orgasm when he's breathing like that.
It's he went full commie. Like, he always tries to make it look like he's the more reasonable one.
Yeah.
He went full commie. Now, Tony, I want you to bring up, let's see. It's hold on. Actually, it's the last picture I sent you. It was like that's the one. Thank you. Eastside Matt sent me this, and it made me laugh so hard. This is what I woke up to this morning from Eastside Matt. Chuck Huckleberry has petitioned the Board of Supervisors to change the name of the Huckleberry Loop to the DeSimone Loop. Upon further reflection, I believe that Chris DeSimone is a true visionary and deserves to be recognized with more than just a fact check page on the county's website. I want to create a Pavlovian response to the infinitude.
What?
What's this great name? I don't know if that's a word, but that sounds like a great made-up word, right?
Yeah.
So I'll do it in my Huckleberry voice for you. I want to create a Pavlovian response to the infinitude of violent crime and wanted drug use along this fine, popular, multi-use trail system and associate it with my old buddy and cerebral sparring partner, Mr. DeSimone.
My favorite broadcast partner.
Then my favorite line at the end was, Tucson Mayor Regina Romero and County Attorney Laura Conover enthusiastically agreed, saying, we found someone we hate more than Huckleberry and want to recognize him, unquote. Give him a ding, give him a horn there, buddy.
Well deserved. Good job, Matt.
I woke up this morning. I just sent back. Pure genius.
That is genius.
So Huckleberry's trying to get the name of the loop changed to the DeSimone Trail. Wow. It's awesome.
You talked about it more than he did.
I was trying to explain to someone about, they're like, oh, the loop's such a cool thing and blah, blah, blah. And again, people don't have the some of the institutional memory that you and I would have with this is, while, yes, I understand there was federal money that was used because it was along a wash and, you got to spend money to shore up washes or whatever, right? But in the end, it's like $250 million of taxpayer dollars.
So I did hear right the other day. That number just knocked me.
Yeah, it was. I remember on the first point, there was one point it was at easy 200. Okay, this is not cheap. But when you look at the rest of the county falling apart.
Yeah.
Right. That was always the joke, right? That you had to drive through horrible roads and crackheads just to get to the loop. Right. But now the crackheads are the loop.
Right.
Right. They control the loop.
Yeah.
I mean, they really should call it the crackhead multi-use pass. But if you really want to call it what it is, right? But the Huckleberry, again, this is you guys don't understand how the irony of a county out of control that was spawned by Huckleberry Extraman Grijalva has Huckleberry's name on where the misery is. I mean, it's just the irony is massive. With
all the stolen bikes that these guys kipe all the time.
Yeah.
It's like a crack expressway for them. They can get to their customers, at Swan in the River, at Craycroft in the River.
Sure.
Pretty damn easy.
Between that and the free crime bus.
Right.
They can go wherever the hell they want. I mean, it's not even close, guys. It's so Matt, thank you for that was a great laugh this morning for me.
Inspired.
Yeah, inspired. I like the word infinitude. That's the part I liked.
That might be one of the 500 new words in the Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary.
Now, I'm going to look up infinitude. I pray to Jesus it's not real.
Infinitude or infinitive?
Infinitude.
Okay.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Infinitude's real.
Really?
It just sounds like something like a bloviating
right.
The infinitude of benefits, right? Anyway, the state of our quality of being infinite and having no limit. There it is. I learned something new today.
It should be.
I love it. All right. 620 AZ 920 East Coast. You're on the Live the Dream Media Network. When we come back, let's get this Project Blue thing out of our lives. It's so good. It's so good. And people don't understand how it all crashes together, but we'll get there. It's TV Themes Day because it's Mike Post, the amazing TV composer's birthday today. So a little Hill Street Blues. Here we go.
You're listening listening to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now a word from our sponsors.
This unflavored collagen powder by Long Life Protein helps you stay strong, look great, and keep moving. Each serving gives you 10 grams of protein and 2 essential types of collagen, type 1 and 3. It's carefully selected to support smoother skin, healthier hair, stronger nails, and joints that keep up with your day. As we age, collagen levels naturally decline, so staying consistent is key to seeing real benefits. Ours is sourced from 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised bovine. No sugar, no carbs, no taste. Just a fine collagen powder that stirs into coffee, tea, or warm water without a trace. Made with one ingredient you can trust and 35 servings per container, it's an easy upgrade to your daily routine.
Order yours today at www.longlifeprotein.com or stop by Diet of Hope at 50 East Croydon Park Road. Diet of
Like heat and air, we're in a state of disrepair.
September is here, the kids are in school, football has started, and it's still hot in the old Pueblo. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is your trusted, local, and family-owned air conditioning and plumbing service provider. We have been serving Tucson and the surrounding areas for over 24 years. Call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or go to picturerockscooling.com to set up your next appointment online.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Don't wait for a leak to show up before trying to find a roofer during roofing's busiest time of year. Call Blueprint Home Services today to schedule a free inspection. Blueprint Home Services offers free, fast estimates, price lock guarantees, and the longest workmanship warranty in Tucson. Again, that number is 520-525-2555. You can also book an appointment at blueprinthomeservice.com. Blueprint Home Services is licensed, bonded, insured, and trusted. AZROC number 322635.
Calling all families, the Marana Pumpkin Patch is your ticket to fall fun for everyone. We've got jumping pillows, a diesel train, farm animals, and our famous corn maze. Plus, explore our massive 70-acre pumpkin patch from Post Farms. Marana Pumpkin Patch, where families make unforgettable fall memories. Tickets available at maranapumpkinpatch.com.
Looking for the best outdoor patio in Tucson? Look no further than St. Philip's Plaza at the southeast corner of River and Campbell, where you can sip on Tucson's finest collection of whiskey at Union Public House, brunch 7 days a week at Reforma Modern Mexican Mezcal and Tequila, and experience our newest restaurant, Proof, proudly serving house-made pasta and artisanal pizza. Enjoy live music and dine under the stars with Union, Reforma, and Proof. Join us at St. Philip's Plaza.
When water damage in Marana strikes unexpectedly, it's important to respond quickly and efficiently. Voda Cleaning and Restoration provides fast, efficient water mitigation and mediation services to protect your home and prevent further damage. We manage every aspect of the restoration process, including water extraction, structural repairs, and mold prevention and remediation. We also offer expert cleaning services to restore your home to a clean and healthy condition. If the water damage is covered by insurance, we'll work directly with your provider to simplify the claims process. Our goal is to make the entire experience as stress-free as possible. Don't wait, act fast to prevent further issues and costly repairs. Ask about our expert floor cleaning services. You will be impressed. Give Clint Bolin a call at 520-891-7235 or schedule an appointment at myvoda.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now back to our show.
All right, my friends, you're on the Live the Dream Media Network. So David and Tony have figured it out. Hold on. CCB sent me something funny here. Hold on. Did the Huckleberry Gremlins get you? Yes. So the company that we use, that our software platform to stream to YouTube and Facebook and stuff, that's crap. They're having issues. So all of our stuff under our immediate control is working just fine. Starlink is working just fine. Even Xfinity is not as crappy as usual. But this company that we use, their whole site just crashed. So You can listen to it on the app. Video will be back on the post-production, so we're being videoed still. And then at the same time, Restream could restart at any time. That's all I got for you today. So Bruce and I are going to give you the best damn show humanly possible for all of you out there.
We're not stopped by some internet chicanery.
No, not at all. So speaking of chicanery, how's that for a professional transition? So this is Catherine Patterson over at KOLD. And plans for a new data center are back on after TEP filed with the Arizona Corporation Commission for an energy service agreement with Beal Infrastructure.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we have the Tucson Democrat Socialists of America.
Yes.
Quote, Project Blue opened a deal with TEP, so TEP has been the leverage point for Project Blue to come back to Tucson. This is the No Desert Data Center Coalition organizer, Alicio Gomez. Quote, Tucson Water is a public utility. That's why we had so much leverage in the first fight. Well, remember, you have no leverage with Tucson Water if you live outside of the city and they keep pounding you on your rates. If TEP was a public utility, we'd still have the same amount of leverage in the fight here, unquote.
So I thought when you wanted to bring up the data center again, that you were going to talk about resistance to the data center because of noise that it makes now that they're going to an air-cooled.
Right. Well, I'm sure, don't get me wrong, they will tell you that the noise from it will affect the mating habits of the something.
Desert tortugas?
Tortugas, Macho B, Macho C, or Macho D, any of the jaguars. I always remember the picture where they said, we found another jaguar near the Rosemont mine, and you can just see the tail, right? And me and Matt would always say that someone had a stick of a fake tail and they stuck it in front of the game cam going, it's Macho B! So, DSA, Democrat Social of America member Jeremy Race, quote, everyone needs electricity. We want it to be as affordable as we can for the community, unquote.
Sure they do.
A study done by the city, you're going to love this, shows switching to public utility would save the customers $1,000 a year in 20 years. Now you're gonna say you give us the imagine giving Regina Romero and Lane Santa Cruz control of the grid,
keys to the grid.
In 20 years, you're gonna get you're gonna save $1,000 a year.
Thanks for nothing.
Support from officials like Paul Cunningham. Anger over Project Blue and a proposed 14% rate hike is what DSA says is the perfect storm to change power as we know it in Tucson. But they don't have a direct quote for him. They just mentioned that about Cunningham. So I don't have any Darth Cunning dork. Quote, we pay for all this infrastructure and profit under a public option. That wouldn't happen. Now,
is there any one part of the city that runs like a top?
No.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference where you look. And frankly, it's not just Tucson.
Right.
Right? Anything the government touches turns to crap.
Yes. So the best part here is that, well, there's a lot of best parts. Let's just say that. Okay. That the people that want to do this, right? Let's see. I think because I can't live chat, they're hitting me more on the text, which is fine. In 20 years, that's when the multi-billion-dollar bond would get paid off the taxpayers will have to endure to buy TEP? Probably.
I guess.
Probably, right? So
there's no bond house that would have the testicular strength to approve that deal.
So the city, we know they don't do cops.
Right.
They don't do roads.
They're not so good at water. Their pipes are blowing up all over town.
I just saw that other one last week, right?
It's all that preventative maintenance. You actually need to do preventative maintenance with an electric grid.
What did you say? Sorry. Oh, nice. Let's bring Sergio. Sergio.
You're smarter than the both of us put together, Sergio, so this will be good.
Welcome to COT TEP talk, where they're going to guarantee, Eric, believe you'll have power at least 73% of the time. What's up, dude? Sergio, speak. Sergio, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
We're good.
So that TEP, that Project Blue is it's funny. The Democrat Socialists don't read very well, apparently.
We know that. They go to TEP. They go to TUSD. You go.
That contract that Rex and Matt and Steve signed has a lot of. It gives the developer full control. They didn't need the annexation. They could waive it forever they care to close the contract. But inside of that contract, if they do not terminate it before a certain date, TEP was forced to sign that service agreement. That agreement was not driven by TEP. They had to sign it, and they waited till the last day before they could be sued. So they were playing their cards. I was like, well, let's see how long, and maybe they won't. But when they said that they were going to keep going forward, TEP had no choice but to do it. Now, TEP, I'm not their cheerleader at any point. But when it comes to service, they are always going to be better than having Regina Romero or any of those fools run a service, because water and electricity are completely different things. I can have a blown pipe throwing water and cutting a hole on Speedway and Cove. That's fine. But if I have power poles that are thrown into the street, TEP, can you imagine how long it'll take the city of Tucson to put those back up? That's a waste of time.
Remember how long it took them to replace the copper wire and all the stolen street lights?
So there's that, the whole cost. They're literally just placating. They're placating to the Democrat Socialists, and they're about to elect two of them to the city council. So that's going to be interesting to see how long they're going to string those people along, because in reality, they cannot buy the grid. They can't separate the grid, and the pure operating of the grid is three things that the city of Tucson and their ability to do is way outside of their realm of expertise. Not
it's a whole different culture.
Even them.
It's a whole different culture.
Oh yeah,
Don't you agree?
You're dealing with. You're not just dealing with Tucson water. You are now connected into the National Western Interconnect. So your job in your power system now must be careful, because as we saw in that blackout in like 2003, a pole or a line that goes down in Ohio will take out New York City. So can you imagine the city of Tucson, their ability to maintain this grid to a point where it will not affect the rest of the Western Interconnect? That's too hard for them. It's too hard. And then it is a nightmare scenario for this region.
So you said about you're not a cheerleader for TEP. TEP is the perfect example, because in the end, when you're dealing with your governmentals, and Cox Communications did the same thing, is their job is to just support all of these people, right? In all of their re-elections and everything they need, because you just need your right-of-ways and things like that, right? But eventually, just like everything else, they'll come for you eventually, right? And
they'll come for you, and they're if you're the direction of the problem, right? If they're sticking their finger in the wind and you're now in the way, you're going to be their target. It didn't matter how many times you paid to to get them reelected, how many, however many, stupid causes that you paid for. They don't care. You're now their problem, and they're going to try and throw you in front of the Sunshine bus with a meth head and driving it.
So I remember it really hit me when I started seeing TEP employees cutting checks for like the Sharon Bronsons of the world, right? I remember that little guy with Steve and Eddie with the cute blonde haircut, right? And then they had some PAC that gave money to certain of these people, right? And then they're like, oh, that's our employee PAC. That's not us, right? That was their kind of their thing. But they've supported pretty much every bad idea in this town and governmento. And so you're right, Sergio. I have almost no pity for TEP in this because all these people that are coming to bite them in the hand are part of the cabal that they've supported all these years. So I have
they're reaping what they sow, and Chris Mays is going to go through their books. They're just going to get it from all sides. They're going to get what they deserve, right? They play with fire. They're about to get burned, and it's their own fault, right? They decided to pay into these people thinking that they're paying protection money. That's like, this is not the mob. These are politicians. Sometimes they're even worse.
Yeah, this is the mob.
But so, like, we were just going through all those things. Like, what does the city do well in executing the basics of governance?
0.0. Utilities are some. I mean, in utilities, right. their water services is they're like, oh, water services they're best. It's like it's bare minimum. I mean, you have pipes that are falling apart all over the city, and they don't even maintain the sewer system. That's the county's responsibility. They don't really maintain some of the hardest utilities in there. They're maintaining water. Water is treatment and delivery. That is not like sewage, where it can cause a huge amount of problems to your community if not dealt with well. You have electricity; it can kill people when their lines fall into the street. Can you imagine a monsoon storm that knocks out power to certain parts of the city? How many weeks is it going to be before those people get their lights back on?
I mean, just their water. Bruce is talking about the water infrastructure, and you too, right? It's like there's so many broken pipes. It's like a municipal Bellagio around here, right? There's always some sort of pipes blowing up and water going in the air and flooding. I mean, I've never seen another city have that many blown pipes as this place.
Well, the Broadway expansion, the project that they did with the roads.
Right.
There was stuff they didn't even know where it was or how deep it was or where it was located the roadway, for crying out loud.
That's all an irony in itself, because the Great City Hall flood of the 80s destroyed most of the city's maps.
There you go. For a younger gentleman,
because of a broken pipe.
For a younger gentleman like yourself, you sure have a good grasp of history. I appreciate that.
Sometimes history is so painful it just burns into your mind.
Yes, it is. Good point.
Sergio, thanks for the beautiful call as always, my friend.
All right, guys, have a good Monday.
You too, my friend.
So can you imagine me? I live about 100 yards outside the city.
Right.
Let's just say that I wanted to increase my power service from 400 amp service to 800 amp service.
Right.
And Lane Santa Cruz saying, why should we let this guy who lives in Country Club Estates, why should he be affecting the grid the way he does? That's coming, right? There's no question about it.
It's almost like I want to find the, let's see, hold on. Lane Santa Cruz, Tucson Electric Power. Let's see. This is from her. Let's see. Like I said, I was going to torch you guys with Lane Santa Cruz newsletters. I mean, taking a thoughtful approach to addressing public drug use. That's one of her.
Right. That's a winner.
She is a sick puppy. All right. Well, this has to do with TEP. Voted officially to get involved in the TEP rate case. We've all felt the rise in energy costs this summer. You mean it got hotter? And right now, ratepayers have no say in how those rates are set. You mean the Arizona Corporation Commission, who's an elected body, doesn't give the public a chance to?
Or these guys at the city of Tucson who say that they've polled thousands of people, maybe talked to 20,
right,
and saying, well, why don't you agree? Everybody in your neighborhood agrees with this.
Let's see. This isn't just about lowering costs. It's also about aligning with the climate action plan.
Yep, it sure is. That's a perfect storm. Total perfect storm.
And then I guess the new county attorney, someone named Roy Lusk, ROI. Is that a man or a woman? Oh, it's a he. Maybe.
Nominally.
We're going to go to break, and we're going to visit with Mike Curry. He's got an inspiring story, and he's going to be one of our new hosts here at Live the Dream Media. So, Bruce Ash, Chris DeSimone, you're on the Live the Dream Media Network. We're waiting for the Restream people to find their spine, but it's coming.
You're listening to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, it's Bill Ding here, first caller.
Hey Bill, I love doing DIY projects. Is Gerson's only for professionals?
No way! Gerson's has tons to offer for the do-it-yourselfer. Come check out our furniture and old doors, perfect for projects.
Sounds good, thanks.
Next caller.
Help, Bill. We're remodeling our home and the big box stores are just too expensive. What can we find at Gerson?
At Gerson's, you'll find cabinets, ceiling fans, tons of sinks, and ceramic tile, and 5-gallon buckets of paint in a multitude of colors. Online at gersonsbuildingmaterials.com or 4726 South Country Club, just north of Irvington.
Welcome to Tucson Strength, or as we like to say, welcome home. We are Tucson's locally owned gym that was built out of a passion for strength. Our goal isn't to slam our gym full of people for the lowest price possible. We are here for those that want a focused training environment with the best equipment around, and a supportive community that is tired of the big box gym scene.
Hello, I'm Kari from Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply. We continue to offer premium commercial cleaning services, and now we have expanded our storefront, moving into Suite 104. Everyone can benefit from our professional cleaning and janitorial supplies at the most competitive prices. Stop by and let us help you select the products to keep your home and business spotless. We are locally owned and operated and have been proud to call Tucson our home for over 3 decades. Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply, 1801 South Alvernon, Suite 104, or call us at 520-495-4097.
When water damage in Marana strikes unexpectedly, it's important to respond quickly and efficiently. Voda Cleaning and Restoration provides fast, efficient water mitigation and mediation services to protect your home and prevent further damage. We manage every aspect of the restoration process, including water extraction, structural repairs, and mold prevention and remediation. We also offer expert cleaning services to restore your home to a clean and healthy condition. If the water damage is covered by insurance, we'll work directly with your provider to simplify the claims process. Our goal is to make the entire experience as stress-free as possible. Don't wait, act fast to prevent further issues and costly repairs. Ask about our expert floor cleaning services. You will be impressed. Give Clint Bolin a call at 520-891-7235 or schedule an appointment at myvoda.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Don't wait for a leak to show up before trying to find a roofer during roofing's busiest time of year. Call Blueprint Home Services today to schedule a free inspection. Blueprint Home Services offers free, fast estimates, price lock guarantees, and the longest workmanship warranty in Tucson. Again, that number is 520-525-2555. You can also book an appointment at blueprinthomeservice.com. Blueprint Home Services is licensed, bonded, insured, and trusted. AZROC number 322635.
This unflavored collagen powder by Long Life Protein helps you stay strong, look great, and keep moving. Each serving gives you 10 grams of protein and 2 essential types of collagen, type 1 and 3. It's carefully selected to support smoother skin, healthier hair, stronger nails, and joints that keep up with your day. As we age, collagen levels naturally decline, so staying consistent is key to seeing real benefits. Ours is sourced from 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised bovine. No sugar, no carbs, no taste. Just a fine collagen powder that stirs into coffee, tea, or warm water without a trace. Made with one ingredient you can trust and 35 servings per container, it's an easy upgrade to your daily routine.
Order yours today at www.longlifeprotein.com or stop by Diet of Hope at 50 East Croydon Park Road. Diet of Hope Institute approved.
When exploring America's best city for Mexican food, start off at one of the best, El Taco Rustico. Chef Juan Almanza is crafting some of the best dishes in Tucson at 2 locations, Grant and Oracle and the new Rustico Dos at Park and Silver Lake. Everything on the menu is a standout, from the shrimp rojitos, costilla beef ribs, to Arizona's best birria. Head over to Rustico Dos for Juan's amazing smoked brisket, pulled pork and ribs, plus all your Mexican favorites. For more, check out TacoRustico.com.
Thank you for listening to Wake Up with Christopher DeSimone. Make sure you follow Live the Dream on Meta, X, and YouTube. Also, don't forget to download the Live the Dream Media app to listen to our live shows and music.
Oh, there we go. TV theme day. Classic Star Trek there for Charles Heller and his nacelles in the right and then right angle. You're on the Live the Dream Media Network. Christopher DeSimone, Bruce Ash is sitting in with me today, and all hell's broken loose. The restreaming service is giving us all these, but we're gonna keep powering through. Keep powering through.
Because that's what we do here.
That's all we can do. So Bruce Holt's Inside Track, of course, which is on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock. Brother Joe's going to be on at 8 o'clock. And we have making his debut. Are you making your debut? Is this your debut on the network or just on Wake Up With Me? Michael? Both. Yes. This is the debut.
It's my coming out party.
Wow. It's our friend Mike Curry, and he's going to be starting a new show with us very soon here on Live the Dream Media. Welcome aboard, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you the microphone a little closer to that one? You can move it to yourself. You can. Right. I don't want you bending over. I don't want a workman's comp claim because of your neck or something like that. So, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful Monday.
The more you hang out with this guy, the more you get pumped on life. That's all I'm telling you. We hung out Friday afternoon with each other, and it was, all the tiredness of my week erased. Just hang out with Mike Curry.
It was a great day. We had a good time, I think.
We had a great time. So explain to folks, you're going to be doing a new podcast.
Yes.
What's the name of this podcast?
Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales.
Love it.
So.
No, you got a heck of a journey here, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So where are you from originally?
I grew up here in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What was your elementary, middle school, high school journey?
So I went to St. Peter and Paul. Both my folks were teachers.
Okay.
My dad worked at Pima College. My mom did as well, and then she taught at Sal Point and Tucson High and other places.
Okay.
So education was super important for them. They put us in St. Peter and Paul. Started getting in trouble when I was in junior high, so I was not let in Sal Point. So I went to Tucson High.
Those are the days where Sal Point would say no.
Yes. Well, it's funny because my buddy got in, but his aunt was a Spanish teacher at Sal Point. We got in trouble together, but he had the connection there. So,
what kind of trouble are you getting into, Michael, in junior high?
So, I grew up at Grant and Silver Bell, and there was a lot of new developments going in on Greasewood at that time. And just being kids, looking back on it, we were there's these trailers that they would park out on new subdivisions to have plans in them and paperwork and things like that.
Sure, they're offices basically.
So we decided to break into that one day, and they brought 2 helicopters and about 25 squad cars. And
wow!
Put a gun to the back of my head and pulled me out of this.
Those were
trailer.
the days.
Yeah.
You did that now, no one would touch you.
Yeah, they'd probably. So I did go to jail that night. My dad,
as a junior high kid.
Yeah, well, the little substation at St. Mary's in Silverbell.
Okay.
My dad came and picked me up. He was not a happy camper. I'd never seen him really speed or get angry in his life, and he sped all the way home and was very upset.
Sure.
So, and then there was like a shoplifting charge. So I just knew I was different from an early age. Looking back, I was a very curious young person. That led to a lot of trouble.
Why do you think you went a little further than just curious? What do you looking back?
I think I was.
Were you rebelling against your parents?
I was rebelling against anything that anybody would tell me to do. I would just do the opposite of. I've always been that person. I was never really a great student. Going to St. Peter and Paul, it's a fantastic school, and South Point as well. But I questioned everything. I think there was a level of unhappiness in my life. I also dealt with some sexual abuse as a young person that I think was like a catalyst for, the drug addiction, for acting out, right? So like there was some unhappiness in my life somewhere where, maybe subconsciously like I wanted some kind of love and affection, and I thought I could get that through acting out. I mean, I don't know. I've worked through a lot of stuff, but I mean, of course, at the end of the day, you'll never really know exactly why you did what you did. So that was a big part of my story as a young person.
Okay.
So didn't really start. I'm a recovered addict, alcoholic. That's a big part of my story, and that's why I'm passionate about this show that I'm producing. I didn't really get into drugs or alcohol until. It's funny because my mom was like, these Tucson High kids, they're going to, you need to stay away from them. They're going to be the ones that are going to lead you down this path. And it was actually the South Point kids that did, believe it or not. So.
Well, they have the money for the drugs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, South Point.
No, it's all good. So at any rate, started drinking and smoking when I was in junior and high school. And I was a basketball player. And, my dream was to play college basketball, professional basketball. None of that came to fruition. I mean, my addiction was just starting to be really prevalent and take over in my life.
And what age is this roughly?
I would say 17 to 18.
Wow.
Yeah, 17 to 18.
This is heavy.
Yeah. So, we drank to get messed up. We drank to get obliterated. We weren't just drinking to, I was never drinking a Samuel Adams for the taste. It was always just it was a 40 ounce of Mickey's just to kind of.
Where were you doing these things?
Out. So I had a good friend of mine. They lived on 6th Avenue and 2nd Street. His parents were hippies. Just to give you some perspective, they hitchhiked to Woodstock back in the day. So very chill people.
Yes.
And their one rule was no bongs. You can smoke all the weed you want, just don't hit the bong.
Wow. What standards?
Yeah. and it's funny because one day we were hitting the bong out front, and the dad came out and just like grabbed it and smashed it on the ground in front of us, and we were like, whoa. So
you drink this naturally, bro. You smoke this naturally. You're not using no damn bong. Crazy.
Right? Yeah. So and then it just got worse. It got into heavier stuff. Being that curious mindset that I had. Cocaine, pills.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just perpetuated into, heroin and methamphetamines. I mean, you name it. And so I guess the reality of it is I never had a relationship with God. I went to private school. I was an altar boy at Most Holy Trinity Church, which is Speedway in Greasewood.
Yep.
I was always in church. I was doing all these things, but I never opened a Bible. I never decided to read the Bible. I never decided to talk to God on my own. I can remember at St. Peter and Paul standing in line I was supposed to memorize these prayers to say to this priest, and we're all waiting in line to say these prayers. And I didn't memorize them because I wasn't a good student. I didn't want to do that stuff. And I'm just sitting there freaking out. Like, oh my God, I'm so scared right now. I don't know this. What's going to happen? So this idea got planted in my head, like I shouldn't have to be scared to come to God, to have a relationship with God. And so that, doing what I was doing, it never occurred to me, hey, maybe I should start talking to God. Maybe I should rely on a power greater than myself to help me get through life, to give me some direction, because I had no direction. Thankfully, I got involved with a sales organization in my 20s, selling educational books door to door, and that was life changing. I learned so many skills from that summer job, and it was like a May through August type thing. So
you were telling me you would go to another city, to sell this stuff.
The company was in Nashville, Tennessee, and their business model was go to college campuses, recruit kids because they have their summers off typically, and they need money to pay for school. So the selling point was, hey, you can make 10 to 15 grand in 3 months and come back, have your school paid for, focus on school. You may not have to work, stuff like that.
Right.
So my girlfriend at the time, she went to Catalina Foothills. One of her friends got her into it. She had gone to North Carolina that summer. So we'd go to Tennessee for training for a week, and then they'd say, okay, you guys are going to Minnesota for the summer, and we'd all cheer and jump in our cars and head to Minneapolis, right? Yep. Or Wisconsin or Michigan. I did 6 summers of that.
Wow.
And so it was incredible. There's not a college class that you can take that gives you the type of experience that I received from that.
What were you doing between summers, though? If you're doing that, what were you doing August through the following
I was ruining my life for the next 9 months.
Wow.
And then I would go do it again for 3, right? So it was this consistently inconsistent. I'd do really well for 3 or 4 months. I'd come back, I'd blow the money. I'd be in school. My dad working at Pima College, I'd pay $10 a semester. We were talking about cheap tuition. So I wasn't, and I was going, frankly, because they wanted me to go. I really didn't have a direction, as I alluded to, earlier. So self-sabotage is a huge part of my story. So yeah, I would come back and self-sabotage. So
literally you'd be drinking and doing drugs in the off season.
Yes.
Would you stop using it during the summer job?
I would.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, my first summer in Minnesota, it was a huge turning point. I had brought a bag of weed out there with me, maybe an ounce left, half an ounce, something like that. And I was really struggling the first couple of weeks knocking on doors. First of all, it's a very scary proposition to tell someone, hey, you just go start knocking on those doors over there. So I was scared. I wasn't good at it. There was no traction going on. I don't think I had sold anything yet. And then one day and I'm in the farm country in southern Minnesota. So I'm like super rural, cow country down by the Iowa border.
Good.
And I pull over and I'm just like, this just isn't working for me. And I take this bag of weed and I kind of I throw it out at this little rest area, parking area and stuff, and I leave. And that actually changes the trajectory of that summer for me. Like I really locked in. I won this trip to Cancun that summer because if you hit certain milestones, right, you win the trip. So yeah, it was an amazing experience. It was the foundation for my sales career,
Sure.
And again, there's really no college class you can take to replicate that kind of experience. So
we always talk about anyone dealing with a situation is how many bottoms do you hit? And then when do you hit because sometimes sometimes you're not even cognizant you hit the bottom.
Right. I mean, my experience was I hit many, many so-called bottoms, but there were still basements to those bottoms, I guess. I served some prison time. I did 2 years in the state prison system for robbing a Walgreens pharmacy for pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
I got sentenced to 3.5 more years, or I was charged with more charges, and I was looking at 3.5 years here in Marana. And David was a part of my story prior to us connecting here, which is amazing.
Yes, you were actually arrested by our CEO, David Samorano.
Yes, yes. So,
but there's something to that.
Absolutely. So another thing that really changed the trajectory of my life was because of my addiction. I ended up breaking up with that first girlfriend, jumping into a relationship right away, a toxic relationship, having a daughter. And then when my daughter was 1.5 years old, my rights were severed as a parent because of my actions. And so, touching on having a relationship with God, it was non-existent at that point. And in fact, I thought God had wanted nothing to do with me because of my actions, because this was directly my fault.
Yeah.
And so I just fell into a deeper and deeper depression. I was escaping by using harder and harder drugs. I became homeless at that point. So, these folks that that you talk about on your show. I was one of those people.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about sharing my experience because I want people to know. I want to bridge the gap between, people that are hardworking people here every day that see stuff like that, but maybe they don't have somebody like that in their life, but they pass people by every day. I want people to know that change is possible.
What was the? I'm going to ask you a question, then we're going to go to break, and then I want to talk about it more. What was the real first true step back from the abyss that you were living?
I walked into a Circle K on Broadway in, is it Euclid? No, there's a Circle K between Campbell and Euclid on Broadway there.
Yep.
And I had a bandana, and I was going to rob this Circle K. And I put this bandana on, and I walked in because I was broke. I had no money. And I was desperate. And something came over me and just said, don't do it. And I walked out of that Circle K. And at that time, I had met my now fiance. She let me live with her when I was homeless, basically. So getting off the streets, it's very hard to recover when you're on the streets because you're in fight or flight all the time. Where do I sleep tonight? Do I not get attacked tonight? How can I find drugs to just forget all of what's going on right now? This is ridiculous. How did I get here? So that next morning, I said, okay, I've knocked on doors before. I'm going to go start knocking on doors, and I'm going to freaking clean people's yards, and I'm going to earn some money because I know that that's a step forward, and I'll feel good about myself. So I told you this story. I knock on this college kid's door, this poor college kid, and I'm like pitching him, right? And I'm like, and he's like, well, I got like $8, dude. And I was like, cool, I'll clean your whole yard. And I probably spent 6 or 7 hours cleaning this guy's whole yard. And that $8 he gave me, I went to Safeway at Broadway and Campbell, and I bought myself a sandwich. I bought myself food for the first time in I don't know how long because I had been on food stamps for years and years. And so that was a big turning point for me.
All right, hold that thought. We're going to talk about how the sandwich, after working for $8 in a college kid's yard, made the turn and where Mike is today. And of course, we're thrilled to have him as one of our new hosts here at the Live the Dream Media Network.
Absolutely.
And it's sobriety, spirituality and sales.
Yep.
So that's coming up soon. Again, Brother Joe coming up in about a half hour, and Bruce Ash, Mike Curry, and you. Tony's in the box today. You're on the Live the Dream Media Network.
You're listening to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm Kari from Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply. We continue to offer premium commercial cleaning services, and now we have expanded our storefront, moving into Suite 104. Everyone can benefit from our professional cleaning and janitorial supplies at the most competitive prices. Stop by and let us help you select the products to keep your home and business spotless. We are locally owned and operated and have been proud to call Tucson our home for over 3 decades. Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply, 1801 South Alvernon, Suite 104, or call us at 520-495-40.
September is here, the kids are in school, football has started, and it's still hot in the old Pueblo. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is your trusted, local, and family-owned air conditioning and plumbing service provider. We have been serving Tucson and the surrounding areas for over 24 years. Call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 and go to picturerockscooling.com to set up your next appointment online.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Hi, this is Sean McCluskey, co-owner and designated broker for Rincon Ventures. If you're a rental owner by choice or by accident and you're looking to hire or change property management companies, consider Rincon Ventures. We employ an aggressive web-based advertising strategy to market your rental. We thoroughly screen prospective tenants and conduct routine property inspections. Our online system gives tenants the ability to pay rent and file maintenance requests instantly over the web. Our owners can use the same system to instantly check on their properties. Call Rincon Ventures at 881-2258 or visit us on the web at rvprop.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
When water damage in Marana strikes unexpectedly, it's important to respond quickly and efficiently. Voda Cleaning and Restoration provides fast, efficient water mitigation and mediation services to protect your home and prevent further damage. We manage every aspect of the restoration process, including water extraction, structural repairs, and mold prevention and remediation. We also offer expert cleaning services to restore your home to a clean and healthy condition. If the water damage is covered by insurance, we'll work directly with your provider to simplify the claims process. Our goal is to make the entire experience as stress-free as possible. Don't wait, act fast to prevent further issues and costly repairs. Ask about our expert floor cleaning services. You will be impressed. Give Clint Bolin a call at 520-891-7235 or schedule an appointment at myvoda.com.
Calling all families, the Marana Pumpkin Patch is your ticket to fall fun for everyone. We've got jumping pillows, a diesel train, farm animals, and our famous corn maze. Plus, explore our massive 70-acre pumpkin patch from Post Farms. Marana Pumpkin Patch, where families make unforgettable fall memories. Tickets available at maranapumpkinpatch.com.
This unflavored collagen powder by Long Life Protein helps you stay strong, look great, and keep moving. Each serving gives you 10 grams of protein and 2 essential types of collagen, type 1 and 3. It's carefully selected to support smoother skin, healthier hair, stronger nails, and joints that keep up with your day. As we age, collagen levels naturally decline, so staying consistent is key to seeing real benefits. Ours is sourced from 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised bovine. No sugar, no carbs, no taste. Just a fine collagen powder that stirs into coffee, tea, or warm water without a trace. Made with one ingredient you can trust and 35 servings per container, it's an easy upgrade to your daily routine.
Order yours today at www.longlifeprotein.com or stop by Diet of Hope at 50 East Croydon Park Road. Diet of Hope Institute approved.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome back to Wake Up with DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now back to our show.
All right, welcome back to the Live the Dream Media Network. We're doing TV themes today. Mike Post's birthday. That's of course from the great Bob Ross. So if you really want to just chill and take a snooze on a Monday, we got a little Bob Ross playing for you. We're having a very important conversation with our new host, Mike Curry, Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales. Bruce Ash is sitting in with me today. Brother Joe in a half hour. Mike Curry was just talking about in relation to the step back out of this addiction spiral that you were in. You were going to rob a Circle K on Broadway.
Yep.
And you said to yourself, there was a voice in your head saying, what are you doing?
Yeah, just don't do this. This isn't,
So the next day you decided...
A moment of clarity, as I like to call it.
Yep. You decided you're going to start knocking on doors and asking for money to do work.
Right.
To clean up a yard. And this college kid says, I got $8.
Right.
And you kick ass cleaning his backyard for $8.
Right.
But you bought the sandwich with the $8 at Safeway on Broadway and Wilmot.
Right.
And you said this is the first time you bought food for yourself in...
Probably 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. because unfortunately, I was never somebody that I couldn't ask people for money. Like I wasn't one of those people that you see out there, flying the sign. And I joked with you on Friday, right? The sales school for homeless people is get a dog and wave at people, right? So I just couldn't do that. And what I did was probably worse. Like I would steal stuff from Walmart, from Target, like kind of what you alluded to in our meeting with Mike on Friday, right? And I'm not proud of that. And doing a 12-step program, like I've made financial amends to multiple businesses, to institutions, and there's a thing called living amends in the 12-step process where you just continue to do that forever. So like if I go into Sprouts or if I go into Fry's, when you check out, they're like, hey, do you want to donate money to this lunchbox program or whatever? And oftentimes I'll do that because that's just my way of continuing to repay the wrongs that I did.
Sure.
So
how did you get to where? So before you started coming over here, and you're making this new change in your life, which is doing a show and working with us at Live the Dream. You were a pretty kick-ass car salesman for Mr. Click for so many years. So talk about what happened between the sandwich and starting to work, being a pretty damn good sales guy.
So my journey, that experience gave me some more hope. It gave me some motivation. It gave me a feeling of, hey, I just worked for something that I was able to provide for myself. And I liked that feeling.
Sure.
You can't get that feeling from sitting there and doing drugs all day and just being a mooch, basically, right? So I really started to look at where I was at, and I wanted to change. And at that time, so basically my fiance, I met her when I was homeless at a liquor store on Country Club in Grant. We kind of, she was in her addiction, but I moved in with her. And I touched on this. Being homeless, it's very hard to make meaningful change because you're always in that fight or flight where you don't even know where you're going to sleep that night. You don't even know where your next meal is coming from or where you want to get high because you just want to be obliterated. Exactly. So it was a godsend because it gave me an opportunity to feel like to be in a safe space, even though we were in our addiction together and that it was toxic as well. However, my nervous system was a little more relaxed. I'll say that. Okay. So I decided, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to change here because we're both addicted. And I went to the Gospel Rescue Mission. And this is when it used to be down on 29th Street.
Yeah.
Stayed there for, I think, 2 nights. And that was a huge step. That was me admitting, because I didn't want to ever go to a homeless shelter because I was like, that's totally admitting that I am homeless. That disconnected, feeling or that I was touching on as well. Like, I was like, that's totally admitting it. But that was the first step, right? So I stayed there 2 nights. And then I moved on to a place on Prince and Oracle that is a halfway house. It's no longer in operation. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But I soon realized I wasn't going to get sober there. All these guys were coming out of prison and they were still hustling. They were still running the streets. They were doing what they do. And I was like, this just isn't going to work. So then I called Ed at the Hedrick House. Ed's a great guy. He asked me to come down and talk to him. I told him what was going on. Ended up moving in there. It's a great facility. It's on Fort Lowell and Campbell. I stayed there for about a year. Started working at car washes. And I'd love to sit here and tell you, I got sober and I never went back. But I relapsed multiple times after this. I fell on my face multiple times. But the biggest key is I kept getting back up and just kept moving forward. So I stayed there for about a year, moved in with a guy that was sober, stayed with him for about 9 months. At this point in time, I had got a solar job through Sullivan Jackson. If you're familiar with Sullivan Jackson, it's a federally funded work program here in Tucson, down by Sister Jose.
Okay.
And basically, they have this really crazy program to help you get a job. But if you get a job using their standards, they will pay for 70-80% of your housing for 2 years or whatever it was.
Yep. So
I had gotten this job selling solar. Couldn't stay sober. A lot of the guys at this company were still smoking pot. Were still partying, the owner specifically. And I was like, well, this isn't going to work either. I want to be around people that are not doing this stuff, right?
Correct.
Because on my own, left alone to my own devices, like I just can't trust myself. And I'm barely building this relationship with God, with my higher power. But I was like, I don't need any other outside influence to affect my sobriety journey.
Sure.
So I quit that job, got a job at Break Max, got a couple other jobs in between. Oh, I worked at Bobby Joe's Carpet Warehouse. Shout out to Bobby Joe's. They're on 22nd there. Great little
Passed
old
by
school place.
the other day.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into sales. I was basically moving carpet in their warehouse, and they didn't really have a sales position per se. So that was the first time I had ever put in my 2 weeks at a job too. And I'm 38 and 39 years old. So I left. It was a mutually good, leaving of the job and all that stuff. And so I was just looking for employment, and being a convicted felon and having the record that I had, it was just tough, right? I was applying for jobs. I actually applied for Jim Click at a networking event, and I wasn't even called for an interview. But I was going to LA Fitness. So fitness has always been part of my journey. Even in my homelessness, I was working out at bus stops here in Tucson. You may have seen me over the years doing that. And in people's backyards, that they would let me live in their backyard. So that was a consistent discipline.
Did you ever were you ever doing chin-ups on a bus shelter?
Yes. I was. As a matter of fact, that was like one of my workouts, yeah.
My gosh.
So at any rate, I kept seeing Mr. Click, and he was just so friendly. And so
You saw him at the gym.
Yeah, he would do the spin class with his buddy that was Frank Bush. Okay.
Swim coach.
Yeah. And so
he's a U of A swimmer, Bruce, so that's why he's in the swim world.
So I said, if I see
he
him
still
again.
wears a Speedo right now. It's amazing.
Can I see it?
Wow.
Wow. Sorry.
So I said, if I see him again, I'm asking him for a job. What does it hurt to ask? Being that door-to-door salesman, having that, right, that mentality, like the worst thing that someone's going to say is no.
Yeah.
And then at least you know one way or the other. So I approached him, and I think I might have left my body right then and there too, right, because I was a little nervous. But he started tearing up. I told him my story, and he said, son, my dad was an alcoholic. He said, we're going to get you in for an interview. I can't promise you a job, but we're going to get you in for an interview. And I interviewed with about 4 different people. They did their due diligence. I mean, they hammered me with these interviews, and I told them everything. I had nothing to hide. And I said, either I'm going to get the job or I'm not. But I'm going to, and I'm in there crying with the HR lady, telling her everything that happened. And, they responded and they hired me. And I think they liked my transparency. And, I sucked my first 3 months, but then I really caught fire because I had the sales background. I just needed to learn how to sell a car, to be direct with people, to just say, okay, how can we earn your business today? What do I need to do here?
Yeah.
It's just a little different sale because the likelihood of somebody coming back to buy a car is slim to none. So you want to try and wrangle in the business right there, right? So it's just a little, and I'm one of those, I don't want to hit somebody real hard over the head. So I just had to learn, okay, what's my way to approach this is going to be.
Okay.
So basically, over the next 4 years, I became one of the top salespeople, top 10 year in and year out consistently. I was never the top guy, but I was very proud of. I talked about that inconsistency and self-sabotage that I had in the door knocking. I became very consistent month in and month out. So that's why my show, I'm very passionate about my recovery and my relationship with God, my spiritual journey, is because both of those foundations play a huge part in the way I approach my business now.
So what was the Mike Curry sales approach that you think made you a success? Because you said you didn't want to hardball all people, which we're all appreciative of.
Yeah.
So what was the Mike Curry approach to selling a car to somebody?
Well, I mean, they're showing up at the dealership, right? So I mean, there's an interest level there. And my manager used to say, they don't turn down Auto Mall Drive for no reason, right? They're here to buy a car. They got to run into a salesperson. A lot of people are scared walking into a dealership, frankly, because there's a perception, not just of salespeople in general, but specifically car salesmen. And even going back to the door-to-door stuff, and that's what I've always prided myself in, is just treating people a different way and showing up and creating a different experience that they would otherwise not have. If people can let their guard down around you, if people can go from this to this, they'll buy.
For those on the app, he crossed his arms and then he went uncrossed.
Yeah, so body language, right? I mean, I learned so much in that door-to-door stuff. And I knew that if I'm in a good place spiritually, I always knew, in those 5.5 years I was there, if I was in a really good place spiritually, I was doing very well every single month. Like I'd have a 10-car month and that was a bad month. But if I was selling 15 to 20 cars a month, I was firing all cylinders spiritually because I'm not in judgment. I'm not in fear. I'm not in lack. I'm not in jealousy of other salespeople. I'm focusing on the customer. I'm having conversations with the customer. So to your point or to your question, I would just ask them questions. I would get to know them personally, and treat them like a person and try and be a good listener. I struggle with the listening part a little bit, but when people see that you genuinely care, they're more likely to buy from you.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, if your energy's good because you're, spiritually feeling good, people will pick up on that and they want to do business with people with a better energy.
Yes. And I had people, they might have seen me across the way and then maybe they were dealing with somebody else and the guy was, a douchebag or whatnot. And they would beeline it over to me and talk to me because they saw something in me. And I do the same when I'm out and about. If I go to a place to purchase something and I don't like the way I'm being treated, I'll go seek out somebody else that I feel like they can earn my business.
Your concept that you just described is almost as old as selling is, but it's one of the most difficult things for people who want to be a salesman to actually embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Asking questions, question selling.
Yes,
and it's amazing how people they change from having their arms crossed with their chest. And now they're open to you.
Right.
It's a whole different deal.
Right. And I think and I love just making people laugh. I think because of my past and everything that I've been through, I am a complete clown and I love joking with people in an appropriate manner most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think when you can get people, that relaxes them too. And it just creates a different atmosphere that way too.
So here you are, you're a successful Jim's Click top 10 guy, and then you make this decision to stop doing that, do a podcast, and hook your wagon to the LTD convoy here.
Yes, yes.
Talk about that decision of you felt so strong about doing the show that you left something you were great at.
Because of the life that I lived, because of the experience that I've had, I want to glorify God for the rest of my life. I want to tell people and share with people what God's done in my life for me that completely transformed my life. And I've surrendered my life to God. Within the last 2 months, we started going back to church again. I started this coaching business to help business and sales professionals, who are struggling with alcoholism and addiction. I'm going to start hosting retreats. I just feel like this is my calling. I have spiritual gifts that I've been given, and it involves me speaking and talking,
Sure.
And making that friend. And I've always told people this, like, whether you like salespeople or not, or however you feel about sales, at the end of the day, we're all salespeople. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever sold somebody else on going to the restaurant that you want to go to?
All the time.
Have you ever sold a Miranda police officer on getting out of a speeding ticket?
I don't.
You understand the concept?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So we're all salespeople, right? And I just feel like I've been gifted this gift, and I don't want to waste any more time and any more days. And I totally trust that I'm going in the right direction. And yes, it was scary to leave, but at the same time, if I hadn't have left, I'd be kicking myself in doing what I did in my addiction and all that turmoil that I was in, is second guessing decisions or doing things or not doing things based on me. I'm doing this based on somebody else. This isn't me. So.
Well, I always love your dead honesty and your enthusiasm together is infectious.
Thank you.
We'll have a start time for the show coming up. I know we're working on that. It's going to start soon, and it's kind of so my thing is, so you're tying sobriety, spirituality, and sales.
Yes.
Right? Because these are things that you're interested in, want to help people in, or you're noticing that in the sales world, there's a little more need for sobriety and spirituality.
So frankly, I want to have a thriving business.
Yep.
And if I just work with addicts and alcoholics, a lot of them are broke. They don't have any money.
Right. Thank you.
I'll just be honest with you, right? I mean, but
shows the pragmatism here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
okay.
but I see, okay, so when I did this door-to-door stuff, we'd go back to Nashville after a summer of selling books.
Yeah.
And it was on. We'd go to the bar, and I end up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning because they were like, all right, work hard and party harder.
Yeah.
So that theme is in sales everywhere.
Sure.
And there's, we went to Colorado. I talked to an Oracle salesman who makes over $1 million a year. I mean, they're doing $50 million deals with AI, all this stuff. And the guy is a complete mess, right? I mean, salespeople are a different breed of people.
Yep.
And so I just feel like I don't know a whole lot, but what I do know is I know sobriety, I know spirituality, and I know sales.
Amen.
So,
amen.
Yeah.
All right. Before we let you go, we got to ask you some important questions. What are your top 3 locally owned restaurants you like to eat at? We asked this of all rookies on the show.
Ooh, well, shout out to Frank's on Alvernon.
And just talking about them the other day on the show.
Frank's and Francisco's.
If you haven't Francisco's isn't operational anymore since COVID. But I'm going to tell you right now that there's something to a cook, a chef that is passionate about what they do. It comes out in the food. When you're putting love into it, it comes out. So that... I really like Paco's.
Sure.
And I really like quesadillas. And those two are like right around the corner from my house. So
Paco's is fine to me, but quesadillas is a standout.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, I could go on and on. I really like so high-end restaurant, I'll just throw one more in there, is Wild Garlic.
Sure.
Fantastic place. Yeah.
Our friend Mark Van Buren, the movie guy, that's his
Shout out
favorite
to
place.
Amber. She's a server up there.
And there's not any white from the plate.
Yeah.
That you see because it's all food.
That's
I don't
what
know
I'm
how the
saying.
guy makes any money.
Right. I mean, you're paying a little pretty penny, but you're getting your money's worth for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
So do you read? Are you a reader of books now? Do you end up reading books or?
I do. I read books. I'm not an avid user.
What are one or two you like?
Well, the Bible for sure.
Everyone says the Bible when I ask that question. But I believe it with you.
There's a book that I read a long time ago called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino.
Sure.
That I used to read when I was in the book field selling educational books door to door.
Okay.
And it was so motivational for me.
I love it.
I actually want to get back into and do more reading.
Beautiful.
And actually, I'm going to be writing a book about my life story too. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the family.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you, Bruce.
He's got this new show. It's Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales.
Yes.
It's going to be starting very soon. We're working on where he's going to fit in the LTD schedule.
Yeah.
And he's also one of our new sales account executives here at LTD.
Yep.
So if you need digital, you need advertising. You have an LTD media website? You have a email, right?
Yes. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but
we're going to figure it out before it's over.
Sounds good.
He's Mike Curry. Mike, thanks for sharing it.
Thank
I know it's, I'd say it's not hard. It's not easy, but it's something where I know you're enthusiastic about sharing it.
I don't mind sharing it all because I know there's a bigger purpose behind it.
All right. God bless you, my man.
Thank you.
He'll be on soon by himself very, very soon. So
sounds good.
Mike Curry. He's the man. Brother Joe coming up in a little bit. Bruce and Chris, we're going to go back to the boring world of politics and government coming back.
You're listening to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now a word from our sponsors.
This is Sammy with SGM, your local outdoor design expert, serving Tucson and surrounding areas since 2019. At SGM, we don't just install turf and pavers, we design your dream yard. With our 3D renderings, you'll see it right on your phone before we break ground. No surprises, just excitement. From artificial turf and paver patios to fire pits and outdoor kitchens, we bring your backyard vision to life. Licensed, bonded, and insured. At SGM, we believe every yard deserves more. More beauty, more function, and yes, more turf. So when you think turf, think more turf. Call SGM today, the More Turf guys. 520-668-2281.
ROC number 340070.
Looking for the best outdoor patio in Tucson? Look no further than St. Philip's Plaza at the southeast corner of River and Campbell, where you can sip on Tucson's finest collection of whiskey at Union Public House, brunch 7 days a week at Reforma Modern Mexican Mezcal and Tequila, and experience our newest restaurant, Proof, proudly serving house-made pasta and artisanal pizza. Enjoy live music and dine under the stars with Union, Reforma, and Proof. Join us at St. Philip's Plaza.
Hello, I'm Kari from Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply. We continue to offer premium commercial cleaning services, and now we have expanded our storefront, moving into Suite 104. Everyone can benefit from our professional cleaning and janitorial supplies at the most competitive prices. Stop by and let us help you select the products to keep your home and business spotless. We are locally owned and operated and have been proud to call Tucson our home for over 3 decades. Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply, 1801 South Alvernon, Suite 104, or call us at 520-495-4097.
Calling all families, the Marana Pumpkin Patch is your ticket to fall fun for everyone. We've got jumping pillows, a diesel train, farm animals, and our famous corn maze. Plus, explore our massive 70-acre pumpkin patch from Post Farms. Marana Pumpkin Patch, where families make unforgettable fall memories. Tickets available at maranapumpkinpatch.com.
When water damage in Marana strikes unexpectedly, it's important to respond quickly and efficiently. Voda Cleaning and Restoration provides fast, efficient water mitigation and mediation services to protect your home and prevent further damage. We manage every aspect of the restoration process, including water extraction, structural repairs, and mold prevention and remediation. We also offer expert cleaning services to restore your home to a clean and healthy condition. If the water damage is covered by insurance, we'll work directly with your provider to simplify the claims process. Our goal is to make the entire experience as stress-free as possible. Don't wait, act fast to prevent further issues and costly repairs. Ask about our expert floor cleaning services. You will be impressed. Give Clint Bolin a call at 520-891-7235 or schedule an appointment at myvoda.com. Welcome to Giuseppe's Ristorante Italiano, Tucson's go-to spot for fresh homemade Italian food. From cozy dinners with friends to laid-back family nights, we've got it all. Everything's made daily with top-quality ingredients, and our 2 locations make it easy to drop in or pick up. Whether you're into comfort classics or something bold, you'll feel right at home here, just like you're part of the family. 2 locations, Oracle in Rudisill and 22nd in Harrison. Preview the menu at giuseppesristorante.com.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
Hi, this is Sean McCluskey, co-owner and designated broker for Rincon Ventures. If you're a rental owner by choice or by accident and you're looking to hire or change property management companies, consider Rincon Ventures. We employ an aggressive web-based advertising strategy to market your rental. We thoroughly screen prospective tenants and conduct routine property inspections. Our online system gives tenants the ability to pay rent and file maintenance requests instantly over the web. Our owners can use the same system to instantly check on their properties. Call Rincon Ventures at 881-2258 or visit us on the web at rvprop.com.
When exploring America's best city for Mexican food, start off at one of the best, El Taco Rustico. Chef Juan Almanza is crafting some of the best dishes in Tucson at 2 locations, Grant and Oracle and the new Rustico Dos at Park and Silver Lake. Everything on the menu is a standout, from the shrimp rojitos, costilla beef ribs, to Arizona's best birria. Head over to Rustico Dos for Juan's amazing smoked brisket, pulled pork and ribs, plus all your Mexican favorites. For more, check out tacorustico.com.
Hi, it's Bill Ding here, first caller.
Hey, Bill. I love doing DIY projects. Is Gerson's only for professionals?
No way. Gerson's has tons to offer for the do-it-yourselfer. Come check out our furniture and old doors. Perfect for projects.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Next caller.
Help, Bill. We're remodeling our home and the big box stores are just too expensive. What can we find at Gerson?
At Gerson's, you'll find cabinets, ceiling fans, tons of sinks, and ceramic tile. and 5-gallon buckets of paint in a multitude of colors. Online at gersonsbuildingmaterials.com or 4726 South Country Club, just north of Irvington.
You're listening to Wake Up with Christy Simone on the Live the Dream Media Network.
This town is a lonely town.
Southern Arizona's premier live talk and online radio.
Like this town.
Oh, this is perfect.
Also? Was this Mike Post also?
No, I just did other TV thumbs.
Got it.
Maybe this should be my new theme song for the rest of the show.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Just do Sesame Street the entire time. Christy Simone, Bruce Ash, and you, Brother Joe's going to be jumping in. He got caught behind a little traffic, so I told him just get here safely and get in your seat when you get here. So we're doing a little Wake Up Monday. And so this is the story. And also thank you to Josh and Izzy for a beautiful time with our Italian supper that we did yesterday with the crew. The food was amazing. Giant piles of cannolis and tiramisu for dessert.
The cannoli pyramid.
Oh, that was
looked like.
That picture was unbelievable. And then he was very nice, and he gave everyone a $20 gift card.
Oh,
to
wow.
use in a return visit.
Oh, how nice.
So that was an extra super
That's
terrific
good
bonus.
salesmanship also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was very nice. It was just something out of the blue. And all of a sudden I announced it and handing it out to everyone. They're like, what? What's going on? And so a beautiful supper together. We had a lot of great conversation and then a beautiful dessert. It was a great way to do Sunday, the last Sunday of September.
I've been meaning to ask you, the picture that you had online of the family for a Sunday
Not
feast.
my family.
Okay.
Just some crap
I wasn't
found.
sure.
Just some crap I found on Facebook.
Okay.
It was a classic black and white. I don't have any black and white pictures of I have lots of colored pictures of the Sunday suppers and stuff like that. So
What's your generation that you grew up in?
yeah, but even some of my mom's older pictures, I don't know. There's actually I have a picture. It's a color picture, and it's in my kitchen. Believe it or not, and it's actually a picture that my mom's taking the picture, and it has like all the aunts and uncles and grandparents all at one table, and it's like a classic. So the only reason my mom's not in it is because she was taking the picture. But it's a great. I'll show you when I get to break. It's like the ultimate.
I'll see if I can find the picture of my dad's family back in New York City. Similar kind of a setup. It looks like a mafia dinner.
Yeah, this is. So the only guy who's missing out of the brothers and sisters of either of them is my dad's brother Art, who was a doctor in the Vietnam War. So he was in Vietnam when this picture was taken. So it was like 68, 69. Probably 68.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. So he's the only one really, and my mom's taking the picture. But it's really the cross-section of all my aunts, uncles, and both sets of my grandparents all in one picture. And so when you come into my kitchen, you're like, well, that's, like it's like the perfect picture for what Chris and Mrs. D are whipping up in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's a great reminiscence all the time.
Yeah, so that's good. And then some of you have asked me about where the next one is, which is always a great question. I don't know yet. So.
Oh, come on, DeSimone.
Betsy was excited about Arizona pizza.
I think that's a great place.
That'd be kind of fun.
I might come out of hiding.
Ah! I'll move it as close to your place as possible so you can make it. So.
Deal.
But we'll work that out. Maybe last weekend of October. Let me talk to Nick. We both know Nick pretty well. He's one of your tenants down in the 5 Points area there.
It's killing it down there.
Have you been to the new one?
Yeah.
Okay. I have not, so for me it's like I want Nick's stuff, I just go to Sabino Canyon and not have to brave downtown.
Right.
Less crackheads on the way to Sabino Canyon.
They don't do DoorDash probably from the Sabino Canyon up to your palatial residence.
So Bruce said to me coming out, hey, did you hear the story in Des Moines? And I did, which is great. So this is something that the TUSD board, pretty much probably anyone but Val Romero would be really pissed about. So Des Moines, Iowa public schools.
It's Iowa for crying out loud.
Well, that's where you hide.
Right. in plain sight.
Immigration and Customs officials on Friday arrested their superintendent of schools, Andre Roberts. He's an illegal alien fugitive from Guyana who's been under a deportation order since May of 24. He fled from ICE agents in his car once they identified themselves.
And he had he's an illegal gun possessor, so they had him on that as well. And he had an illegal person with him in the car, for crying out loud.
He was ultimately, you're going to love this, he sped away before abandoning his vehicle and attempting to escape on foot. He was ultimately found, here he is, ultimately found he was ultimately, I love this thing, he was ultimately found in shrubbery. Yes, he was hiding in shrubbery. Yes, Mighty Python and Holy. Shrubbery! With the assistance of the Iowa State Police Canine. So,
like these two.
Yes. Brother Joe's here with his assistants, Cotton and Snowflake.
Blue chip security staff.
Blue chip security staff, I apologize. And so, Joe, we're just talking about the Iowa Public Schools superintendent who ICE had to arrest because he was an illegal immigrant, even though they hired him as their superintendent of schools.
I saw that on Fox Business. I did a double take because I couldn't believe it.
It's a pretty unbelievable story.
A loaded Glock 19, a fixed blade hunting knife, and $3,000 in cash in the car. This guy's rocking.
Oh, wow.
This guy is rocking it out. He was hired as the superintendent of schools in July of 23 after a national search process.
And now you know why, right? They're paying TUSD superintendents $600,000, $700,000 because we have the cream of the crop.
They're all pissed at They're all pissed at TUSD. They can't believe that they didn't hire the first illegal immigrant superintendent of schools.
They were asleep at the switch, right?
They're like, those gringos up in Iowa took our shine away.
Now the woman the Democrat female who's running for Iowa U.S. Senate seat, she's all up in arms. They're all going to support this man.
I love the board chair Jackie Norris pleads with the public to cool down the rhetoric.
It's crazy.
It's the best.
You can't make it up. I mean, had it happened in California, you'd say, well, that happens in California a little bit, right? Freaking Iowa? What is up with that?
If they said, if you found out that TUSD or Sunnyside, right, hired an illegal immigrant or whatever,
wouldn't be a surprise.
You'd be like, yeah, that kind of sounds right. That's what I'm telling you. Ravi Shah and Jennifer Ekstrom and Natalie Luna Rose at TUSD, they're pissed right now.
They like to be groundbreakers.
Ugh! They're in 1010 right now, yelling at the top of their lungs.
Let's go get us one of them.
The white bread beat us to an illegal immigrant superintendent? Get out of here. It's the best.
That's crazy stuff.
It's the best.
They're jealous.
They're way jelly. So then we have... I'm so sick of these interviews. Mike Johnson. We are just keeping the doors open, but they want to shut it, unquote. I am sick of this whole thing.
The Schumer shutdown. How convenient is that? It's just like a parody.
Anytime we talk about shutdown, who cares? In the end, it all plays out the same, right? No one's interested in doing anything about a budget. Let's move on with our lives.
Well, I think the Republicans, though, actually have some desire to go with the budget order. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
But it falls apart every year. If you don't have the votes in the Senate, and that's where the problem has been, it goes nowhere.
Well, the other thing is, though, it's like, so, Speaker Johnson, I like doing, I don't know why I know he's from Louisiana, but I kind of do that drawl a little bit, right? What I almost did a little McConaughey there. What did Chuck Schumer do in exchange for that? He declined it. They voted against it. He said no and no. Instead, I want to add $1.5 trillion in new spending. Well, didn't the big beautiful bill also add to the national debt over the next 10 years? Am I misreading that? I just want to make sure that Mike, who is very happy about the OBB, which is now the Working Families and Sunshine Bill that they've renamed it, right? Didn't we add a bunch of debt to the on the OBB?
What they did cut out by law was the $500 billion for illegals to get medical service here in this country.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, and why should we be paying bills? Somebody comes here from Guyana, the guy's sister, right? To get a sex change operation. Why should we be paying for that? I completely agree with that.
I understand with some of the things I like in the bill. I'm just saying, in the end, it was still adding to the debt, right? We're just adding to the debt our way.
Chris.
Yes, Joe.
That's too simplistic.
Thank you, Brother Joe.
Okay. I know it's Monday morning. I know we're just starting the week, but let's start it on the right foot.
Yes, Brother Joe.
The Democrats want to add silly, useless spending that will go down a rat hole.
Yes.
And yield no benefit to the United States.
I agree.
GDP, want to use big words, we'll talk GDP. It will add nothing to GDP. Secondly, the big, beautiful bill with its tax cuts and its pro-business agenda
agreed,
has a yield that the whole premise of the bill is to increase GDP beyond this traditional 2.5, 3, this malaise. I know the administration would like to get GDP over 5 plus. Actually, much more optimistic than that. Of course, you're dealing with the Federal Reserve that always wants to hit the brakes as soon as GDP gets going, then they're worried about inflation. Right. But I think what we're finding is that tariffs and current policy of the current administration are pro-growth, pro-job, and that since we were built on the premise of Adam Smith and capitalism, the current president is fulfilling his objectives as a capitalist. And what we're finding with Chuck, or Senator Schumer, if you feel better, I'll call him Senator Schumer, is that he's entwined in old-time kind of democratic politics, tainted by a radical left that has lost their compass morally and fiscally. And so when you look at what the Democrats are trying to hold things up it's exactly what our friend said here. They want to cost you another $1 trillion in handouts that yield no benefit. And that Speaker Mike, whether you like his delivery or not, is basically, he is bringing the ball down the court. And we talked about this last Monday. I said, this is not going to be so easy for them because now they're kind of bringing back Doge. Doge did go away. We haven't heard about it. But now you have a president that's not going to do furloughs. So, they close the government and then they come back. Oh, we're going to pay you everything we owe you, plus interest, plus gift cards to Starbucks. That's over. They may never come back again under this president. And this is a wonderful opportunity to cut the size of government and reduce the waste of government. So I think this showdown is much more than politics as usual. And hopefully the Republican Congress could use it as a stepping stone to bigger reform.
And even the so-called conservative Wall Street Journal, which is no longer conservative, arguably, okay, they make the OMB guy, Vaught, make him look like a villain in this whole thing. This has been an evil plot that, it's been in the works for a long time, and this is just another way to cut the size of government. Well, if you're a taxpayer, who isn't for cutting down the size of the government unless it's goring your ox or my ox or your ox?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, if there are 30% of the government workforce that are non-essential, well, maybe we don't need these non-essential people anymore, for crying out loud. My son worked for the federal government for 23 years, okay? And he took the government buyout here recently, and his life is happy, and hasn't changed that much. They'll figure it out.
Yep.
He thought the shutdown, he was probably through 6 shutdowns during his period of time in government. It was a joke. Nothing ever got done. Nothing meaningful ever came from any of this stuff. This is a good thing. This is a cathartic process. And you're right. Trump was well prepared for this term in office. He and the people around him, the America First folks, that was again a first for Republicans. The Democrats have had all these kind of crazy, wonky groups that make up all this crazy stuff that we see during Democratic administrations. America First organization was actually planning all of the things here for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's why there's been this velocity of stuff coming out of the White House. Mostly good stuff, I think. Not everything.
For the most part, we are pro-growth, pro-job, pro-investment in this country. You're not going to eliminate foreign trade, or you're not going to eliminate goods and services from other countries. But the fact that now that we have substantial investment starting really should be a head turner. Hopefully, there's some controversy with the TSMC gigafactory up in Glendale for high tech, Taiwan Semiconductor.
What's the controversy?
Hopefully we have, do we have the people to step up and do these jobs? Do we have the infrastructure to support these jobs? I think that will be a process. I mean, optimistically, I think it'll be a process and some hurdles to accomplish. But the fact...
So Bruce was just saying that you were listening to something this morning about how Trump might have a predilection to let Taiwan go in relation to their own...
In order to make a U.S.-China trade deal, the Wall Street Journal and others have reported that that President Xi would like Trump to give up sovereignty for Taiwan in order for us to get a trade deal. If that would happen, I mean, that would, at least for me personally, because I think this is a hill to die on.
You also have a lot of Taiwanese moving to North Phoenix at that point.
Well, maybe
to work that plant.
Maybe that's what he's thinking.
China's another game because they're not capitalists. They're not capitalists. They have other motivation for why they do what they do in their larger picture. I think, Bruce, this goes all the way back to Nixon and the one China policy, right?
No question.
And right now, China has the island of Taiwan surrounded by military and planes and procedures and practices. So, are they free? Is it really our fight? How much does this cost us to have this setup and to have these jobs overseas? And I think this is the first time this is all being assessed. But the ability of, if Taiwan was shut down, it would have a major impact on the chip sector worldwide.
No question about it.
So these are real issues. And what I find interesting under this America First strategy is we're realigning our foreign policy to some extent. And I think I looked at that UN speech by Trump with the broken elevator and what else was broken?
Teleprompter.
The teleprompter.
The microphone.
You know, when I first watched it, I hadn't had my first cup of coffee, and I kind of was bleary-eyed by it. But I've watched it about 3 other times, and it's fascinating the look of the crowd as he was blasting the ineptitude of the European Union. We have heard throughout all the Biden administration that we must help Ukraine. We have to send them billions upon billions upon billions of dollars and whatever else to help Ukraine. However, the folly of it is, right, that the Europeans...
They're supporting the Russians.
By buying their oil and gas. And so
you're a slave. You're a slave to these guys also, economically and socially, as a result of it.
So I would say, and what you're saying, right? The European Union is so broken that they're with all of this malaise and inefficiency, they're going to champion climate change, which Trump told them he literally told them it was a joke. It was a scam, the new green scam.
Right.
And they just look.
I'm sure their heads snap back.
I was going to ask you, have we ever found out who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline? Right? Because this was something that, to me, I forgot who it was, but someone thought it was us who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline.
Question. Don't know.
Have we done so? This important thing that happened where they went and blew up this. We haven't heard crap 2 years later because that helped the Ukrainians in the end, right? Because that's where a lot of that natural gas was getting pumped from Russia to the European Union.
Somebody will blame it on Mossad, probably. they're the in group to get blamed for everything.
But and back to the Chinese thing real quick, right? This is the worst business partner you could ever have in the world is the Chinese government, right? They came onto the world scene offering what? Slave labor, right? That is their gift to the economic world is we are a communist dictatorship with slave labor. Let's get real. Walmart, that all-American company was built on Chinese slave labor.
Oh, tell us the dynasty of Sam Walton.
Yeah, let's get real, right?
Paul Harvey's spitting in his grave after all those years, supporting Walmart in his commercials.
Yeah, but in the end, Walmart became the monster it is through Chinese slave labor. Let's just be real about it, okay? So then you have this economic partner that doesn't have to tell you anything.
Right.
We don't know, are they healthy or are they not healthy? They're buying up debt, but at the same time, do we have ghost cities or we don't have ghost cities? Where no one lives, right? Where they're building these things, right? Giant Rio Nuevos, don't yell at me, Fletcher. But all these things. But how do you do business? It's insane to do business with them, right? Then all the games they were playing when we were trying to do tariff on steel, right? And then they're moving it through other things around.
Stealing intellectual property.
Right.
I mean, you name it.
Right. Then think about this. We have all these goods. We need the slave labor goods. We need them. We just need them in our lives, right? But what does it do? It has to go through the other communist country, California.
The port of Long Beach.
Right. And so I got a communist country and we're locked down to I got the Longshoremen's Union.
Right.
Right? Those guys got if they got a hiccup in their step, oh boy.
That friendly and very, very helpful group of men and women.
And then all of a sudden the country we're having supply chain problems. Right? And there's all those shipping container ships sitting out in the ocean doing nothing. Right? And we're like, oh God, oh Lord, we're clutching our pearls. What a bizarre business partner.
What happened?
Right? Thank you.
Some of our best clients work in the port of Long Beach.
Right.
They really.
But this is the weirdness of where we're at.
What happened?
There it is. Right? This is the weirdness of where we're at, that we have this huge trading partner, right, that holds a buttload of our debt, right? And we have no idea what's going on over there, right?
I like this. I think Trump in some way is at the fringe not totally. I love the Monroe Doctrine. I think that has been timeless. You want to change the budget structure? Okay, so let's imagine, to quote John Lennon, let's imagine a world where we didn't send money to South America with no strings. Imagine the billions of dollars. Okay? Let's start there. Imagine the money that we send to Europe, we didn't. Imagine the money we send to South Korea, but don't. So that would start to have budgetary surplus. I mean, we're talking billions upon billions. That's real money, hundreds of billions. We receive nothing from it. And now, I mean, Trump is shooting down ships with drugs in Venezuela, and the communist dictator is upset that his rights have been violated. His rights should have been violated 10, 20 years ago. So we have to protect our hemisphere, our border and our hemisphere. And I would argue, I think we've done enough being the world's policeman in protecting our fiat currency. Let's bring these troops here into the United States, right in our hemisphere, and let's build up our own safe zone. And let's stop spending money where we receive absolutely nothing for it. Then, and this is not just a one-way objective of Republican conservative ideals. Now you have money to really have a conversation about health insurance. Okay? We've just made Obamacare is a joke because we've made a tax out of it. We have destroyed the concept of health insurance and we've made it this tax. But if we weren't sending hundreds upon hundreds of billions into trillions of dollars into outer space over nothing, then we could have a serious talk and saying, there's a segment of Americans in this country that need help with their health care and different items. Could be the shut-in elderly. You could, again, you're always negotiating with the other side. You could begin to have a much more constructive conversation, give and take. So, just to conclude my thought, we need to take our own security seriously and not undermine it, because I think we're way overextended and we're getting nothing from it.
Bruce Ash, response.
I agree with you, and the emphasis that we've done since World War II, particularly trying to save the rest of the world, it's an impossible task, and just having troops in Europe, all it does is expose our troops to certain death when the Russians come rolling across the border. There certainly is strategic strength that we have to keep war away from this country. I mean, who's gonna attack America? Missile, drones, what have you? Because our ability is to wipe out the rest of the world. Mutually assured destruction. It's worked for 70 years plus. I agree with you. More money to spend at home and make it a greater country than what it is today.
Well, and for all the things we're doing with Ukraine and Russia right now, which, again, the Biden administration was the most conflicted of interest president you could ever have when it came between Ukraine and
absolutely
and Russia.
Nobody ever talks about that. Right. Burisma? What Burisma? What's that?
I mean, if you want the press turning their eyes the other way for their boy, it's that.
When was the last time you saw the videotape of Joe Biden, boasting that he had basically, got rid of their attorney general or whoever that guy was? He just gave him 3 hours. You're going to do this or you're out of here.
big,
we haven't seen that in years.
Don't mess with the big guys, as Hunter would say. Let's go to break. We got we got another half hour till Dave's on with Marana Oro Valley Experience with our friends from the Oro Valley Planning and Zoning crew talking about general plan. That's coming up at 9 o'clock. Chris DeSimone, Joe DeSimone, Bruce Ash, and you're on the Live the Dream Media Network. Yes, that's the Munsters theme song on TV theme song.
A great one.
You're listening to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now a word from our sponsors.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
September is here, the kids are in school, football has started, and it's still hot in the old Pueblo. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is your trusted, local, and family-owned air conditioning and plumbing service provider. We have been serving Tucson and the surrounding areas for over 24 years. Call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or go to picturerockscooling.com to set up your next appointment online.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
Calling all families, the Marana Pumpkin Patch is your ticket to fall fun for everyone. We've got jumping pillows, a diesel train, farm animals, and our famous corn maze. Plus, explore our massive 70-acre pumpkin patch from Post Farms. Marana Pumpkin Patch, where families make unforgettable fall memories. Tickets available at maranapumpkinpatch.com.
Hello, I'm Kari from Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply. We continue to offer premium commercial cleaning services, and now we have expanded our storefront, moving into Suite 104. Everyone can benefit from our professional cleaning and janitorial supplies at the most competitive prices. Stop by and let us help you select the products to keep your home and business spotless. We are locally owned and operated and have been proud to call Tucson our home for over 3 decades. Southern Arizona Cleaning and Supply, 1801 South Alvernon, Suite 104, or call us at 520-495-4097.
This unflavored collagen powder by Long Life Protein helps you stay strong, look great, and keep moving. Each serving gives you 10 grams of protein and 2 essential types of collagen, type 1 and 3. It's carefully selected to support smoother skin, healthier hair, stronger nails, and joints that keep up with your day. As we age, collagen levels naturally decline, so staying consistent is key to seeing real benefits. Ours is sourced from 100% grass-fed, pasture-raised bovine. No sugar, no carbs, no taste. Just a fine collagen powder that stirs into coffee, tea, or warm water without a trace. Made with one ingredient you can trust and 35 servings per container, it's an easy upgrade to your daily routine.
Order yours today at www.longlifeprotein.com or stop by Diet of Hope at 50 East Croydon Park Road. Diet of Hope Institute approved.
When water damage in Marana strikes unexpectedly, it's important to respond quickly and efficiently. Voda Cleaning and Restoration provides fast, efficient water mitigation and mediation services to protect your home and prevent further damage. We manage every aspect of the restoration process, including water extraction, structural repairs, and mold prevention and remediation. We also offer expert cleaning services to restore your home to a clean and healthy condition. If the water damage is covered by insurance, we'll work directly with your provider to simplify the claims process. Our goal is to make the entire experience as stress-free as possible. Don't wait, act fast to prevent further issues and costly repairs. Ask about our expert floor cleaning services. You will be impressed. Give Clint Bolin a call at 520-891-7235 or schedule an appointment at myvoda.com.
Hi, this is Sean McCluskey, co-owner and designated broker for Rincon Ventures. If you're a rental owner by choice or by accident and you're looking to hire or change property management companies, consider Rincon Ventures. We employ an aggressive web-based advertising strategy to market your rental. We thoroughly screen prospective tenants and conduct routine property inspections. Our online system gives tenants the ability to pay rent and file maintenance requests instantly over the web. Our owners can use the same system to instantly check on their properties. Call Rincon Ventures at 881-2258 or visit us on the web at rvprop.com.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to Tucson Strength, or as we like to say, welcome home. We are Tucson's locally owned gym that was built out of a passion for strength. Our goal isn't to slam our gym full of people for the lowest price possible. We are here for those that want a focused training environment with the best equipment around, and a supportive community that is tired of the big box gym scene.
Welcome to Giuseppe's Ristorante Italiano, Tucson's go-to spot for fresh homemade Italian food. From cozy dinners with friends to laid-back family nights, we've got it all. Everything's made daily with top-quality ingredients, and our 2 locations make it easy to drop in or pick up. Whether you're into comfort classics or something bold, you'll feel right at home here, just like you're part of the family. 2 locations, Oracle and Rudisill, and 22nd and Harrison. Preview the menu at giuseppesristorante.com.
Welcome back to Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on Live the Dream Media Network. Now back to our show.
All right, welcome back. Hey, welcome back, Carter song. Look at this. That was good. Welcome back to the Live the Dream Media Network. Chris DeSimone. We had a little issue with our streaming today, but we're still live on our app and other things, but it'll all be on the post-production. It'll all have the video that we're doing will be all out there. So our company that we partner with that does the streaming for us, they're having some issues.
Tony's getting the sound machine down pretty well.
Tony's all over the sound machine, so God bless. Thank you.
He gave himself a ding.
That's what's great about Tony now. He doesn't talk in using words anymore. He just uses sounds. Well played, Anthony. Well played. All right, you're on the Live the Dream Media Network. Chris DeSimone, Joe DeSimone, Bruce Ash, and we're just solving all the world's problems, is what it feels like.
Doing a hell of a job, Joe.
One step at a time.
Joe is talking about something called the Monroe Doctrine, which is something Bruce's bookies on the line again. The Giants won, sorry. And of course, Joe did a report on the Monroe Doctrine when you were a young man. I remember you.
6th grade. Mr. Cornish.
Mr. Cornish, thank you.
In a school of a bunch of left-wingers.
So, in a perfect world, you could, in an imperfect world like we are, you could never pull off a full Monroe Doctrine, which is basically you're going to take care of your hemisphere. Right? Sovereign borders, do your country, and then you're going to be the idea that you're going to be supporting the other parts of countries that want to work with you, right? And then also, if there's any sort of infiltration from outside of the hemisphere into that hemisphere, then you'd start taking a real hard look at such things like that. Is that a reasonable restating in 2025 of the Monroe Doctrine?
President Monroe had 4 basic premises. You know,
James, we call him.
Jimmy.
I would call him President Monroe out of respect for his office and his insight. So that's right. You know, you're going to be focused on your hemisphere, and you're going to let the other stuff go. Oh, and now, so the criticism would be, Joe, you really don't understand it. You have a very simplistic view of the economic world. We have trade partners, and this could, this would be a problem for world trade, and you're blind. Well, maybe so, but are we net profitable? What's our net profit doing it this way? Sure, we have trade partners in South Korea and Vietnam and China. But look at the deficit, $33 trillion deficit to keep this global monstrosity as we protect our status in the world, as we protect the dollar as the fiat currency. So obviously, any business person that has a balance sheet, it would be alarming to say, gee, this strategy, as wonderful as the think tank has put it together, Bruce, we're $33 trillion in the hole. Could there not be something wrong with it?
36.
36. Even my numbers are off.
So remember, I like a lot of things about what you're saying. All right. I love the idea that we've done a horrible job with the world of natural resources on this side of the right. What's going on? We could be a better partner with Mexico and parts of Central America when it comes to natural resources, right? And this Maduro guy controlling what he controls in Venezuela is a joke, right?
And the FARC people in Colombia. I mean, there's lots of bad actors in South America.
And so we've seemed to let our own hemisphere go to pot while we're worrying about all these other places, all right? So I have security-wise, natural resource-wise, yes. But again, most of the debt is still coming from Social Security, Medicare, interest on debt, right? The debt's so big that now the interest on the debt's become a problem, right? And so Medicare, Social Security, and then, Obamacare, right, which you already rightfully tanned earlier in the show. So
getting back to the Monroe Doctrine, arguably, I think a statement could be made that the last United States president who really believed in the Monroe Doctrine was John F. Kennedy. That was what the Cuban Missile Crisis was about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you bastards from Russia going to bring a bunch of intermediate ballistic missiles. You're going to put them 90 miles off of the shore of Florida, exposing everything from Tucson, Arizona to Boston, Massachusetts, and Chicago, and everything in between. You're going to do that here? No effing way. Okay? Arguably, JFK probably cared more about Latin America than all of the other presidents that have succeeded him, with the Alliance for Progress and the Pan American community Congress and so on that he initiated as well. Nobody else.
I do it in my JFK voice. Was it my reluctance to go to Vietnam which got me whacked in Dallas, Bruce Ash?
Well, I think that I've made the comparison that the attacks that have been made on Donald Trump were, while not successful, were perpetrated for the same reason as his death in 1963.
Which is?
JFK's death. Because Trump is a disruptor of almost extraordinary means.
Yeah.
And so was JFK. He just never had a chance to really pull it off.
Yeah. No. Like I said,
and the CIA was nervous as hell about him. The Defense Department was nervous as hell about him. Maybe Treasury not so much, but everybody thought that this is the most radical president that had come along in many, many terms.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of things about him that scared the hell out of people.
And you can't prove I'm wrong, because we'll never for sure know what went behind it, but it sure seems that way to a lot of people. When you look back with the perspective of history, now 65 years, almost 63 years, I mean, it's amazing what that kind of perspective brings to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So again, Joe, I love what you're saying on the Monroe Doctrine. Again, nothing's perfect. You and Bruce are having a thoughtful conversation about the importance of Israel in relation to what we're doing, because there are, and part of the Israel thing, right? And we have extreme Islam in various forms that would like to do us damage, and it's already done, right? But so the question would be, then of course we have oil in the region, which of course complicates the living hell out of everything, which would then take us back to the Monroe Doctrine. And what if we did a better job of developing natural resources in our own backyard?
Which the Democrats for the last 40 years have fought against the internal combustion engine and oil resources and everything else. I mean, they're the people who are keeping us back. We could be providing between oil as well as nuclear power and nuclear energy could be providing all kinds of benefits for the entire world.
Yeah.
I mean, we just keep shooting ourselves in the head listening to these lunatics who call themselves Democrats.
Well, and right now we're seeing with AI technology, probably the biggest threat to AI technology, and when I say AI, to me, that's a recalibration of the brain of the computer. To me, Intel 30 years ago was they manufactured the brain of what a computer can do. So to me, AI is this new brain recalibration. But what we're finding, it takes enormous amount of energy. Okay,
right.
And the fact is the infrastructure is not there. They're talking about it. They're looking at nuclear to fill this.
The little mini packs.
To fill this real gap. But energy will become bigger than AI, will become the number one issue globally going forward for the next 20 years. And whoever controls energy will control technology.
Because you can't run the AI technology without the energy. You're right. Maybe I ought to go out and buy some more Exxon and all these other big energy companies.
Who's building Who's building nukes? Who's your leading companies in building?
Well, I'm
nukes?
told that Bill Gates wants to use these mini packs in order to do all the Microsoft AI data centers.
What we did, and this is not a recommendation for people to buy these, but we had in our...
It was National Compliance Officer Day last Thursday. I want to let you know.
And as you know, I'm not an attorney. So, Oklo, OKLO, LEU, GEV. These are companies, and there's Constellation. I can't remember their symbol, but those are the three that we have been involved in. GEV is taking the turbine engine and having a renaissance in what it can do to create power. LEU, Oklo, OKLO, it verges on nuclear. And then there's a company, Lightbridge, LTBR, that's working with Oklo to redefine the technology of energy and how energy is created and processed, and also the cleanliness of it too. So there's a whole renaissance. And these stocks, Chris, have gone from, we've been holding them for a couple of years in our pension, from like $25 to $120. LEU's up to over $300 and something dollars.
Oklo's at $1.17 right now, $117.82. They are an advanced nuclear tech company based in Santa Clara, founded in 23 by Jacob and Caroline DeWitt, both graduates of MIT, and they design compact, fast reactors with the aim of providing clean, safe, and affordable energy.
Surprised that California would let them run their company in that state.
Surprised Gavin hasn't tied himself to the front door or something like that. So, and the other one you were talking about, Lightbridge, right? That's another
LTBR is kind of it's done work with them on this clean technology, but it's not only clean, but it's awesome how it can propel the energy requirements for AI and technology.
Yep.
And so don't kid, and we've been looking at Exxon, like the traditional oil companies, so which would be Exxon, Phillips, Chevron,
Sunoco. There's a few of them out there.
BP. So you say to yourself, what are these people missing? Like they're the biggest energy companies in the world. Or do they just go and buy these other companies and put them on? I don't know.
They might.
But they have the money to do it. And, there's another interesting company. Again, this is not a recommendation to buy
Joe
this.
is not a lawyer.
TPL, Texas Pacific Land Trust. It's a really interesting company. They own an enormous amount of oil and gas through Texas and Louisiana. It's almost a mutual fund of energy. And it's not a very liquid, it's not as liquid as Chevron or Exxon as far as it's limited shares. But that's another one that's sitting on all this potential energy, to fuel AI for the next 20 years. So you have these emerging companies like Oklo that are energy intensive but focusing on a clean burning fuel. And then you have Chevron, Exxon, which people have been looking at the price of oil. Under Trump, the price of oil has gone down. So has your price at the pump. So there's been...
Not much, but...
Well, we're in a weird situation here because of refineries in California and distances and so on, and no refineries here.
But we're around, $65 a barrel in oil, which is better than 90.
No, it's not translating. Bruce is saying because of the refinery problem, it's not translating to the average bear or even a price of diesel.
We're usually on the low side of the market. We've been mid or high here, but I didn't mean to get you thrown off.
I was meaning to throw you off.
Okay. Well, he's your brother.
That's understood. You've been trying for years, unsuccessfully. But go ahead. Don't let me discourage you.
Yeah, I'm looking up your TPL.
I love that brotherly competition going on here. That's awesome.
TPL's I didn't realize they're the largest private landowner in Texas. And they do royalties from oil and gas. That is they were created in 1888 in the wake of the Texas Pacific Railway bankruptcy. And if you want to get a share of TPL, $926 a share.
Wow.
They're a monster.
They're
a monster.
They're not as liquid. I mean, it can be volatile, those shares. But to me, it's from my opinion, right? It's a core holding for energy, and don't try to trade it. But don't people that buy things, they always overbuy and they borrow and beg. No, you just buy a little bit. Like we've said on gold over the years, don't go crazy. Just buy a little bit, percentage, kind of as an insurance policy. And then, if it's going your way, add up.
Gold's like a freight train right now.
We hate the rank amateur averages down. Oh boy, that's if there was a rule right under Mr. Lucas's cowboy code of our honor code of our business.
That's our horse trainer, not the guy who did Star Wars.
Rules not to do at Blue Chip Trading.
Right.
We do not average down.
What does that mean for the average bear listening?
It's like you're told, and it makes more sense like if you're buying an index fund like VOO, which is the S&P 500. You're looking to accumulate shares in your retirement plan, and you're going to do it for 40 years. So when the price goes down, you're getting more shares.
All right, so the average dollar cost average strategy.
You don't do that in speculation when you buy stock because it's a single issue. So any single issue could collapse.
Right.
You average up. So you buy a little bit, maybe you take it like a probe. So if you had $25,000 to allocate to something, you'd allocate maybe $2,500 to start. And you'd have a stop loss of 10%. You wouldn't just let the thing go down. As you're successful, as the price moves up, yes, you buy on the dip as your price moves up, you're averaging up. So your average share cost is more than your first.
Right.
That's what real speculators do. Averaging down is for people that cannot take a loss or they can't be wrong. It's really psychological. I cannot be wrong. So I've lost 50%. I'm going to double down and put more money at this loser because I'm getting more of this loser at a lower price. But it's the market has spoken. For whatever reason, your issue is down 50%. That's troubling.
Yeah.
And and no matter how wealthy a person is, a bad position that keeps going down can be disastrous to any capital position. So forget it. I was talking about stocks. It's different, 401k, you got like your son's got 40 years. It's different.
Yeah.
But if you're buying stocks or gold or silver, we like to average up, never down.
On that note, we got to break up this hootenanny. Bruce and Joe, thanks for a lovely time. Cotton and Snowflake, great to see you today.
Wait a minute. I have another 2 more hours to talk.
I understand.
I have notes. I have articles.
Bottle it up for next week. So
you'll be back.
Dave's coming up with Marana Oro Valley experience. He's talking with our friends from the Oro Valley general plan discussion. And then tomorrow I'll be back with our friends from the Arizona Builders Alliance. And we're going to be talking about, maybe some real practical education that would actually help, build stuff instead of just working at QT, waiting for the computer to make change for you. So that's coming up tomorrow. You gentlemen have a great week. Thanks for kicking off the week with us, as we like to say. So, and the stream will be back tomorrow, I guarantee it. You're on Live the Dream Media.